In this video, we will review the components on the 1910 air cart. The tank lid indicator gauges are used to notify the operator if the lid has come open or if there is a leak in the tank. These indicator gauges are not accurate when product is flowing through the meters. They are only to be used when the machine is stationary and the fan has the tank pressurized. The next component is the amber lights on the side of the cart. These amber lights are used to notify the operator when the fan speed is out of range. When the fan speed is below the target by 20% or more, the bottom lamp will illuminate. When the fan speed is above the target fan speed by 20% or more, the top lamp will illuminate. When the fan speed is within 20% of the target, both lamps will illuminate and the fan speed is correct. The exact fan speed can be viewed on the display. This hydraulic calibration kit activation switch allows the operator to calibrate the transmission by using a hydraulic motor instead of cranking the transmission handle, saving the operator time when setting up for a new crop. Above the amber lights is the serial number tag, which is necessary to enter a DTAC case or file a warranty claim. This is the 1910 fan, the plenum adjustment, and the calibration motor. The 1910 fan is capable of carrying almost 800 pounds of product to the seeding tool. This fan has a case drain connection, pressure and return, and the ability to reroute hydraulic fluid to the conveyor motor through the use of a diverter valve. This is the double-chute plenum. This cart is a double-chute cart with two sets of tubes going into each meter. The double-chute plenum has an adjustment to control airflow for each set of air tubes. Check the operator's manual for the proper setting. We can adjust the air plenum by turning the handle on top of the plenum and adjusting the rod to the appropriate color recommended by the operator manual. This hydraulic calibration motor is operated by a switch located by the amber lights. This system allows the operator to calibrate the meters with the flip of a switch rather than calibrating by turning the transmission handle. These are the meter half-width disconnects. The meter half-width disconnects are located underneath the product tanks. There are two handles that slide upward to shut off product flow to the meter. Use these handles when switching row spacing on an 1890D seeding tool or when reducing the seeding width of the machine by half. They are also used to shut product flow off to the meter when changing meter segments for a major rate change. These two zinc-plated handles connect to the meter clean-out doors that are used to clean out the product over the top of the meter. They are unlatched by pushing in against a spring and rotating a roll pin handle to unlatch the door. The doors will then swing open. This meter speed sensor reads a zinc-plated tone wheel located on the meter insert. This tells the SeedStar 2 controller the speed of the meter in RPM. The controller will then calculate a rate based on the system inputs entered in the GreenStar 2 monitor. The proper adjustment between the sensor and the tone wheel is approximately 3 millimeters or the thickness of a nickel. This meter insert lock handle keeps the meter in place while the machine is seeding. To unlock this handle, simply lift up and pull out on the handle to release the meter insert. The meter insert is a device used to accurately meter product. This is a black meter roller. John Deere has yellow, black, green, and blue meter rollers available to suit different crops and different rates. Use the operator's manual to choose the correct roller. This is the top chute and bottom chute selector adjustment. This adjustment slides in and out to direct product to the top set of tubes or the bottom set of tubes. On the bottom of the meter is the bottom meter plate. Remove this plate in order to perform a meter calibration. To remove the meter insert, simply unlock the insert by rotating the handle and moving it out of the way. Then rotate the handle down to unhook the lock and pull the meter insert out of the meter. This meter is currently set to deliver product to the top set of tubes. In order to change this, we need to lift this lock and push this slide in. Next, lock the slide in place. Now this meter is set to deliver product to the bottom tubes. To remove the bottom plate, unlock these two latches. Once the two latches are unlocked, the bottom plate will easily come out. This hydraulic diverter valve controls flow to the fan or the auger motor by pushing or pulling to select which function we want to use. One important note about this valve: once we have stopped using the auger, some operators forget to push the valve back in. When they go to start seeding, they do not know why their fan will not turn back on. So it is always important, once we dock the conveyor, to make sure we push this valve back in. Now we will talk about the 1910 transmission. This cart is equipped with variable rate drive. The rate is adjusted with this electrical motor that is mounted on top. The transmission also has a calibration handle, which is used to deliver a product manually out of the tank through the meter to catch in a catch bag. On this model, we have a hydraulic calibration kit, so we don't have to use the handle. On a transmission with variable rate drive, adjust the transmission for calibration by pulling down this locking collar and spinning the adjustment handle until the marker is set to 50 on the index. Now the transmission is set properly to do a calibration. When the operator has selected the proper rate, the variable rate drive motor will automatically adjust the transmission to the correct setting on the index given the proper setup and calibration of the seeding tool and air cart. There will be no more adjustment needed from this locking collar or this handle when going in the field. The 1910 air cart generates its own ground speed signal through the use of this tire speed sensor. This sensor picks up a pinion gear that is connected to the main drive clutch gear and reads the pulses that are then sent to the SeedStar 2 controller. This allows the 1910 cart to be used without tractor radar. This is the 1910 main clutch, tire size sprocket, and row spacing sprocket. It is important to note the number of teeth on the sprockets, as that information will be needed when we set up SeedStar 2. The number of teeth is stamped on the sprocket. The agitation linkage can be set on low or high agitation. Please check the operator's manual for the proper agitation setting. The agitation linkage is connected to the sprocket with this strap and delivers power into the meter through this stainless steel rod. The solenoid for the meter clutch controls when the meter on the tank rotates or does not rotate. The power and ground for this solenoid is provided by the 7-pin connection. This meter drive shear pin protects the transmission and the drive line from overloading torque. If the shear pin breaks, be sure to check the meter for fertilizer buildup or meter roller wear, as these are common causes of shear pin failure. Check the operator's manual on how to properly clean the meter insert. There are several spare shear pins provided from the factory. Do not use anything but a 3.2 millimeter diameter cotter pin for this location. This SeedStar 2 controller is commonly referred to as a flex box. This is the controller that is responsible for calculating the rates, running the variable rate drive, and incorporating all the electrical inputs into the GS2 monitor. To open the tank lid, simply push down on this lever to release the lock on the tank lid. Lift up on the handle, place the peg in the holder, and spin the lid open. There are two adjustments on the tank lid to ensure proper sealing. The first is the downforce on the tank lid, which is adjusted by this bolt and turnbuckle. This adjustment will change the amount of force that is put on the seal when we press down on the handle. The second adjustment is on the end of the tank lid arm. This adjustment will change the amount of force that is required to put the end of the tank lid arm back underneath the saddle. This can also adjust how much force is put down on the seal by the tank lid. The tank lid seal is the most common problem of tank air leaks. As mentioned before, usually when a tank lid indicator gauge shows that a tank is opened, a likely cause is excessive fertilizer or seed on the seal. The tank level sensors are responsible for reporting the level of product in the tanks to the operator. There are 3 sensors that operate this system. Each sensor is attached to a resistor. Every time the paddle is contacted by crop, it increases the resistance to the controller, thus telling the controller whether or not crop is present at the sensor. This is the motor for the conveyor. The conveyor has a pressure return. We have added a case-drain line in response to customers' concerns about the motors leaking, which has greatly increased the reliability of this motor. In order to get the 1910 conveyor out of the storage position, remove the safety cable strap and the pin from the latch device. Unlatch the conveyor and pull into the saddle. Next, pick up on the rear of the conveyor and slide the tongue out of the plate on the top saddle. The conveyor is easily maneuvered out of the saddle into the working position. Now we will lock the swing arm lock into place so that the arm cannot move when making adjustments on the conveyor arm. Now the conveyor is in the working position. The conveyor motor speed is adjusted with this valve and this handle. We can also adjust the speed of the motor at the top of the tank with a handle that goes all the way from the bottom to the top.